Ladies and gentlemen, welcome home. This is Alaska DE here again, bringing you another episode of Understanding Spawns, the series where we go through maps, game types, and learn the spawn system so you can understand where people are coming from, because knowledge is power, especially in a first-person shooter. The two main things you need to know are where people are at and where they're going to be. So understanding the spawns on each map, whether it be Team Deathmatch or Conquest or even Rush, is a huge asset to you. We just recently took the series into Conquest. This is actually the second video of Understanding Spawns in Conquest. It is the first on my channel, the first one was actually hosted on PixelEnemy, and I'll provide a link for that in the description. So we are on Seine crossing at the B flag, and we are going to go through the spawns on the B flag. Now, we talked about in the first video, but I'll reiterate in each video from here on out. The spawns in Conquest follow two main rules, which is you will always spawn with your back towards your deployment, and you will spawn closest to your deployment or your currently held flag. So right here, we're looking at B alley. We're looking at two of the heavy Russian spawns, which is by the box on the left and then the box on the right. Those are two priority spawns in that corridor. The heavy priority spawns, though, on B are going to be right here where I am standing, and then right here where I'm looking in this corridor. You can actually try and get behind these two spawns like I'm doing right here, so you won't be in it. There's a spawn right there. You'll be behind them. They spawn facing that direction, so you can actually cap the flag and still be watching the spawn. But this spawn and the spawn I just showed you in the rubble are the two highest priority spawns on B. Whether or not you are Russian or US, you have a high chance of spawning there. Even to a degree that it disregards the two main rules. So like we said, the two main rules, one of the things that you need to remember that'll help you on every flag, on every map, is that you will most likely spawn with your back towards your deployment and or closest to your currently held flag. So right here I'm just showing you a good way of defending B. You can actually crouch down between the van and this white sack of dust or dirt or grass or whatever it is. You can actually shoot through the flag. It's not a solid piece of geometry. You have a very low profile right here. You can actually bust out the van doors, the grenade, and actually crawl inside the van. Very good vantage point towards that corridor, which is generally the way that the US will attack if they are coming from their deployment or from A. So right now we have an engagement, and I get 320 in the face. So yes, spawns on B, not too many. There is also one or two, I believe, inside the house where I just died next to. I haven't had a chance to spawn on B so many times, mainly because B is a place that you do not want to be on Seine crossing. Whether you are Russian or US, you don't want to be here. And see, I'm Russian, and my closest deployment is D, and I spawn in the alley at one of the box spawns that I showed you, following both of the rules. I spawn closest to my deployment as I possibly could on B flag, and I spawn with my back towards my deployment and my closest flag. Getting back to what we were talking about, B is a death trap. As you see, there's only two ways into the flag. Both of them are narrow corridors, which have very little cover. You do not want to spend a lot of time here. I know in Conquest, when we play this competitively, even sometimes at the beginning of a match, depending on the team, we won't even cap this flag, just because it is so useless in a situation where you are needing to spawn somewhere outside of your deployment. But since this flag is such that it is located at such a disadvantageous place, it is wise to avoid it at all costs. So we just died. We're going to spawn again on B, and we're actually going to spawn in the back van spawn, showing you that the game sometimes favors that high priority spawns over the two rules. So that'll finish up this episode, guys. I hope you learned something and enjoyed this. I'm going to keep doing Seine crossing. We're going to finish up C and D sometime in the next week. If you liked it, go ahead and leave me a comment and let me know, and I'll see you guys later. You guys have a good night. Cheers.